You need to get some lighting, Brady. You need to get a new webcam. Are you using your phone?
I'm using the MacBook.
No. All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Rambling with the Reeses.
Yeah,
Again, is this episode 10 for us?
I don't know.
9 or 10?
Well,
Or
I
8?
feel like nine. I feel like we recorded nine last week, but it didn't. Like we didn't actually use it.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty weak. It was a pretty weak episode. So we just decided to scratch that. Maybe if we ever get to like 100 episodes, we'll revisit it and show people the hidden footage. We did have Madison join us and Jeff. They
And
both
Jeff.
had fun.
Yeah. So there were some moments.
There were some moments, but nothing like actually
Yeah, it's pretty boring. Pretty
yeah,
boring. It would not have made for good content.
no, exactly. So that was why we gave it the scratch. But today we are going to be quick, short, and sweet, and we're going to talk about some fun things. So our agenda today, we've got really three things we're going to talk about. First, we're going to make some World Series predictions for the Phillies and Astros.
Yes, game
Second,
one is tonight. So
game one's tonight. It's in like 40 minutes, a little less than 40 minutes.
like 30 starts at 30.
So we're gonna make our predictions now, and that way people will know whether we're geniuses or not. We're gonna talk about House of Dragon, and then the House of Dragon, though, we're gonna keep it short and sweet, right? Let's keep our review of House of Dragon to 10 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds
And
good.
with our just let's just have our talking points, our clips, our hot takes, I should say, right? And then lastly, we'll do a brief update on the stock market, your plays that you've been making recently, and
That's this week, really.
yeah, just this week. And then our moves for next week as well. So let's dive in. World Series predictions. So Phillies are playing the Astros. I'll pass it over to you.
So real quick, I don't the only people that are probably rooting for the Astros are people that live in Houston. Are
Yeah,
you rooting for the Astros?
no.
Like it's hard for me to get over the fact that they cheated 5 years ago. I never want them to win. As long as any of those players are on that roster, I never want them to win.
What's so sad is like Justin Verlander, we'll just use him as an example. Amazing pitcher, Hall of
I
Fame.
mean, he's one of the greatest pitchers ever in this
And
era for sure.
And granted, the cheating was more helpful towards the
The hitter.
offense.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it's really hard because here's this amazing player, this amazing pitcher, and you kind of just, I don't have a sour taste in my mouth for Justin Verlander, but he's on that team, and it
Yep.
just kind of taints everything. And then
It's ever.
you have Altuve, who I love, but like, how do I love him anymore? When it's just like, and I loved Bregman, but again, it's like, man, like how do I like these players? It's just so blatant the type of cheating they did,
Yeah.
right? Where it crossed the line between what is acceptable in baseball and what's not.
So
And
I've seen articles this week for Houston apologists saying everyone was cheating that season. I don't think so. I mean, if everyone was cheating, then Houston how did Houston end up being the scapegoat? I don't know.
yeah, and if everyone was, that's fine. Let's show us some evidence of it, and then we can
Yeah.
stop hating on Houston. I'm fine with that, whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel about steroids. Like
Yep.
so many players were using them, it's hard to be like, oh, this person's such a cheater. Now, once they started cracking down and actually testing for steroids,
And that's different.
that's a different scenario because now it's like, okay, we're actually going to enforce
So
this rule. Yeah.
that all this being said about the Astros, whatever, I really want the Phillies to win, but I think the Astros win in six.
Astros win in 6. That's your prediction.
See, my prediction is Astros in six. My hope is Phillies in five. That the Phillies just have really hot bats. Bryce Harper literally just like gets on base every game. He
Yeah, he has
bats.
an 11 game like
He's
on
not. He's
base.
not. He's gotten on base every game this postseason, or at least he has a hit.
He
Right.
already has the Phillies record for most hits in a postseason.
I know it's crazy.
Which
Isn't that nuts?
The Phillies have like won multiple World Series. They're great.
Also,
And
just so
I'm
you know, the
thinking,
Phillies are the oldest team in baseball that like are still in their original starting location.
got it. Well, I will say though, too, he did have 2 extra games.
That's true.
So he did
Yeah.
have 2 extra games with the wild card series.
Right.
But still, he's had an amazing postseason. I'm very happy. I want him to win a ring. I was really sad when the Nationals won it right after
The
he
year
left.
he left
I was like, oh man, it's
against the Astros. They won against the Astros. Let's not forget.
and again, I think the thing with the Astros cheating is it's tainted their dynasty.
Yeah, forever.
Think about
Forever them.
in the last 7 years, right? How good have the Astros
Oh,
been?
they've like led the American League every season.
And they're always in the championship and World Series. Like they're kind of like the Dodgers for the American League, right?
Yep.
It's just disappointing. How disappointing are the Dodgers too? Jeez.
Dude. Yeah, let's not even talk about that flip. That was so
But
annoying.
okay, so your prediction, Phil, your real prediction, Astros in 6. Your hope is Phillies in 5.
That's right.
Okay.
So also let's not forget the Astros lost to the Braves last year.
That's what I mean. They've been in it. Like they're great. The Astros are awesome, right? Like, and that's
And I was so happy the Braves won. I'm like freaky every year. I'm screw the Astros. If the Astros are in it every year, I hope the American League never wins another World Series.
I was really sad that the excuse me. I was really sad that the Yankees just really did not
They choked. They
perform well.
choked.
Yeah, so
So
okay.
the reason I think the Astros win is they're just more talented. They have a way more talented roster. Their hitting is way more consistent than the Phillies are.
Mhm.
But this is something that I've talked to Dad about, all about the postseason in baseball. It's really all about who gets hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And right now, the Phillies are very hot. Like
Well, I
they are.
will say this: the Astros have an amazing lineup. The Astros are an amazing team.
Also, they have better pitchers too.
The Phillies, yeah, I think the Phillies have a couple great starting pitchers, right? But I do think the Astros have deeper bullpens. The thing about the Phillies, though, they do have a very talented roster that I feel like they've underperformed
Yeah.
based off of expectations the last couple of years. And
So
they're
real quick
starting to get
though,
hot right now at a time when that's what kind of is expected.
yeah, with the Phillies, the best player in the series is on the Phillies. Bryce Harper is the best player in the series. But like, I mean, that's the thing about baseball. Barry Bonds was the best player in the world for a long time, and he never won a ring, right?
Yeah.
So
So my prediction, I'm gonna say my prediction is, and I'm not even gonna say my hope. It's my prediction. Phillies in 7.
dude,
Right?
that'd
And
be exciting.
Phillies in 7. I think the Astros are probably gonna win it. I think the Astros will win it in 5. I think if the Phillies can make it to 7 games, they're winning it.
Oh
Right.
yeah, if the Phillies stretch it out to 7, I think the Phillies win.
Then
But
again, though, I think the Astros are a little deeper, so
yeah,
maybe.
exactly. That's the thing is
So,
the Astros have way more depth than the Phillies.
so my prediction: Phillies in 7. Yours is Astros in 6. Let's see who's right.
Yeah, but I will say if the Phillies end up winning in 5, I'm gonna claim credit for that too.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, sure. I'm gonna make 5 predictions, and if any of them happen, I'm gonna get credit for it.
Yeah, I'll predict everything. Astros in 4, Phillies in 4.
I was right. So, okay, World Series. Switching over from sports to the wonderful world of fantasy. House of Dragon. You
House of
finished it
Dragon.
yesterday.
Finished it yeah, yesterday.
Okay. What'd you think?
2 days. I can't remember if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Finished it 2 days ago. It was great. Awesome. Loved it. Like way better than Rings of Power. What's nice about House of the Dragon is it's not tainted like Game of Thrones is tainted. Does that make sense? Like what an ending to with Aemond. Full spoilers. With Aemond accidentally murdering his nephew
Yes.
by his dragon. Crazy. That was really cool. That was like a awesome sequence. just like seeing him on this massive dragon.
And it was really, really cool as well. This goes back to the murder part. It shows how little control the two of them actually
Yeah,
had over their dragons,
dragons.
right? Like, it was Luke or Jace. Which one was the one that died?
Luke.
So Luke, his dragon shoots fire, right? And he's like, "What are you doing? Stop it!"
Stop it.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Aemon's dragon eats him.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
It's over. And I think they did a really great job too, at showing the different scale
Of these
of
dragons.
dragons.
Right.
I thought that was really good as well.
But man, freaking Alicent Hightower is just the worst for totally misunderstanding what what Viserys was saying, right? Viserys thought I was talking to Rhaenyra, but
Yeah,
Alicent totally thought talking like, yeah,
I
just
think it was. I
terrible.
think it was very fitting for Viserys though. Like you've ruined everything
Yeah.
already, and now you've ruined it even more on your
On your deathbed, you've ruined it.
on your deathbed. You really did. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of fitting for Viserys. Just like he couldn't ever win,
I
right?
think Damon is still the most interesting character. Love Damon.
Mhm. What made him interesting to you? I mean,
He,
he's ready to go to war,
yeah,
and
he's ready to go.
yeah,
He's just the most complex and loyal, probably. So like he's the most loyal to like the idea of the Targaryen like line. Does that make sense?
he's a Targaryen, and he loves the history of being a Targaryen. Like
Right.
that's what he studies, that's what he does. He wants to conquer, he wants war, like he wants to have glory. He thinks he's better than everyone because he's a Targaryen. He's meant to rule, right? And I
Yep.
think I will say that's one thing I do like about Aemond. Aemond's a little annoying, but I think Aemond is what a Targaryen should be, right? Like he's
Oh,
what a
dude, he's
Targaryen should.
younger Damon. That's what
Yeah,
he is.
exactly. And it's the two younger brothers. It's the second brother, second son complex, but it's really, really interesting. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm really sad that we have to wait so long.
I know.
That's my
2024.
biggest
What the flip?
that's my biggest complaint about House of Dragon is I was expecting it to like at the beginning of the season, I thought all these actors, they were only in the last one season, and there were going to be a massive time jump between the next one. So I was expecting this whole story to be wrapped up with these actors, right?
Right.
And then when it wasn't, I was like, oh my gosh, come on. Like I have to wait 2 years, year and a
Yep.
half to finish this. And it's awesome. I loved it. What would you give it rating wise?
Oh, dude, this is like a 9.5 or 10.
Wow.
As like a single season, it is great.
Wow.
There's moments, there's moments that are low and kind of slow, like maybe like a 7 or something. But
Mhm.
like overall, like through and through, like from beginning to end season, like full season, like a 9.5. I'm gonna say 9.5. It's not perfect, but tens aren't perfect. But this is like some of the best fantasy now.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I agree it's some of the best fantasy now, but that's really high for you, especially
Yeah,
considering you
I
Rings
loved
of
it.
Power at 6.
Yeah, I mean, this is way better than Rings of Power. This is like
Wow.
all the characters are way more interesting. I'm way more attached to all of them, and like Viserys is like one of the most tragic characters now in like a show. Like that last episode with him, episode 8, I was like, I wasn't crying, but I was getting choked up. Like when he's entering the throne room, everything that happens with him, I'm like, man, this is just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. Okay, so you're gonna give it
What
nine
would
and a
you
half.
give it?
I'd probably give it a 9.5. I think I liked it better than Rings of Power personally, but I liked Rings of Power.
Right, you liked Rings of Power.
But yeah, I mean, it was really good. I think the things I liked about it is it was Game of Thrones at its best.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything that Game of Thrones did really well, they did well. The reason I'm going to give it less than a 10 or maybe a little less than you, and I'm just going to compare it to Rings of Power now, is the CGI and the
It's
effects
not as
of
good.
Rings of Power are so much better
Yeah, I agree.
than House of Dragon. And I might be more forgiving of House of Dragon if they didn't come out at the same time, but when
Right.
they're coming out at the same time and you see the quality of like the dragons flying in House of Dragon, and specifically think about episode 9 when the dragon leaves the dragon pit, right? On Renese's,
Yeah, Reese.
and like just the CGI of going out the door. Well, the
Yeah.
CGI of it coming up and all the debris flying and then
Well,
flying
just
out the door, then
the
going.
entire scene in the high sept was like really shoddy. Like the green screen, everything was weird. You
Yeah.
know, I
It's
could
just,
tell they were in a green screen. All this stuff, right?
and so that has to do more with the production quality
Production.
than like the actual story and plot. Because I think the plot and story is stronger in
House Dragon.
House of Dragon than Rings of Power. But
So
I'm
I
just talking about the quality there. That's why I'm gonna give it that 9.5 versus your 9.5 to 10.
I think obviously with Rings of Power now, they spent their hundreds of millions of dollars on all visual effects, and
Yeah.
not enough went to the writing. But then, like for House of Dragon, I feel like they spent a lot of money on like writing, by less so on CGI and stuff.
And I would rather have it the way House of Dragon did it for sure, right? Where more money spent on the writing and the actual quality of the plot and the story, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think that's just my one thing is what's possible when you see Rings of Power, and yeah, they spent like 10 times what
Yeah.
House of Dragon spent, so it should be better. But
It should be for sure.
but you still kind of, oh well, if that's possible, like why don't we have more of that, you know?
Right.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna give it a 9.5. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. And then I just started watching. Speaking of like fantasy,
Andor.
Andor. Yeah,
How is it?
great,
Is
great.
it as good as Mandalorian?
Yeah, yeah, they're different,
Yeah,
right?
I know they're different, but you know what I mean when I ask that question.
I think it is. Yeah, I really do. The thing I think about it is it kind of reminds me, honestly, of the Man in the High Tower.
Man in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle. Yeah, sorry, I knew I was saying it wrong. High Tower because of the House of Dragon.
Yeah, that's Dragon.
The Man in the High Castle. It kind of reminds me of that, where that show is pretty slow. It's a
Yeah,
lot of just like intrigue and like build up and what's gonna happen. And it's more just the living in this world that's kind
right.
of intense and scary. And that really is the vibe. And granted, the stormtroopers and the Empire was based off of Nazi Germany, right? Like that's George Lucas's inspiration of
So
it.
they capture that feeling of like the oppressiveness that would be living under that.
Yes and no. And it's interesting because a lot of the characters, some of them kind of like the Man in the High Castle, where you see it from these Nazi perspectives, and they're almost like heroes and villains, right?
Okay.
And there's not really any of those heroes and villains in this show, but there's just more people living in the regime that are like the rebels, and they're having to be spies within it, and so you feel that stress and pressure while
Right.
it's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll need to watch it. I need to watch it. I've heard good things. I'll watch it.
And I think the quality is really good. Like it's not super CGI. It's not the writing is good. The
Right.
dialogue is good. It feels really good.
Is the show over? Is Andor done?
No, so it's gonna have 8 episodes, 6 are out.
Got it.
So we still have a
And
couple.
then what Disney Plus account are you using?
I think we have one. It's either ours or it's my brother-in-law's.
Yeah, I was using
Mine.
Madison's, but I think Madison cancels their Disney Plus.
Got it.
So I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's our fantasy take, and now into the fun part of making money. You made
Yeah.
a play today for some Amazon call, and
So-
you're up 68%.
Yeah, real quick. Earlier this week, Charlotte and I decided it must have been this week, or last week. Charlotte and I decided to start putting our money in stocks out of our bank account. So we bought some Amazon shares and we bought some Apple shares.
Okay.
And so earlier this week, I made an MGM play on just a cheap MGM call. I
Yeah.
made 20% on that.
Yep. So you put
Now,
in
just to be clear,
we're
just so
gonna
I'm
put in some money, some numbers. You bought a call for $100.
$100.
You made
Right.
20%, so you cashed out at 120.
Exactly.
Then
Yeah.
you took that 120, and from there, did you roll into the Amazon play or did you do a different one?
So that was I did that. I sold that on Tuesday.
Okay.
Then on Wednesday and Thursday, I didn't really see anything I liked. But
Okay.
then today, at the end of the trading day yesterday, Amazon dropped the stock price dropped 20%.
because of all the stuff with their
Yeah,
earnings.
just their earnings weren't. It wasn't even that they were like didn't make a profit or anything. They just missed expectations.
Okay.
So it dropped 20%. You
Okay.
know. So I thought,
The picking. So you're like, oh, I can afford one of these calls.
yeah, I can now afford one of these calls. So today,
And you can also afford one of the calls because when did they do a stock split?
that was a few months ago. That was in the
Well,
summer.
Because if it would have been like a year ago,
No, I could not have afforded anything. No.
yeah.
So anyway, so I felt this morning like the stock price for Amazon's way too low. It dropped to under $100 yesterday. I felt it was way too low, and it was definitely a knee-jerk reaction. So
Yeah.
this morning I just looked at different ones. I found a call that I could afford. It's a strike
How much was the call that you bought?
call. The call was 130. I bought it for 130.
And strike price was 109.
Strike price is 109. It
When you
expires
bought
on
it, what was Amazon selling at? What was the share price?
Amazon share price was $99. It's like $99 a share. Like 98.50.
98.50. You bought it at a strike price of 109, expired November 18th.
Right. That's 3 weeks from today.
Yep.
And I bought it for 130.
Okay.
So markets are closed. Amazon closed the day out right now their current stock price is 103.84, which is great.
Yeah, because it went up from
And
99 to 103,
yeah,
and that increase in share price. Now your call went up by, you said, 68%.
8%. So right now my call closed at 218.
218.
So
That's great.
I'm up $88
Yeah.
on my play, and I feel great. Feeling so stoked about it.
Yeah, it's a great
Love
day.
this.
So fun.
I mean, last year we were rolling high. We were doing
Last
good.
year we had some good days last year.
Dude, I still can't believe
We
we took
started with
$500.
$500 and we got
Yeah.
to 5,000
Yeah,
in about a
2
month.
months. No, it's 2 months.
It took us 2 months to get to 5,000. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember the exact timeline.
I mean, but that's still incredible, right?
And then we just started making. We should
Bad
have
plays.
kept with the smaller stuff and just done more of the small stuff.
We
And
put
just
all of our money in one, and then we lost it.
lost it all. Lost it all. But
Yep.
that was exciting. That was fun when we were doing that. Because we
Yeah.
had some Disney really.
Disney was like our best one.
Disney was just amazing.
That doubled our money one day. That doubled us from like $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah. That was incredible. That was incredible. So Monday we're gonna start doing some more on Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, awesome. So that's our news on our stocks. If you have any, let us know what your stocks are. Not you, Brady. This is you, the audience of
The audience.
the audience of the 3 people that watch it. But maybe that's what we'll do. We'll have more of a segment and we'll talk about our trades and how we watch it.
Yeah,
Our strategy, and I told you this, I think what our strategy should be, and this is kind of what my plan is, if we are going to start making more day trades, is we pick our 5 favorite companies and we just see which one has dipped, and
Right.
that's the one we buy that day, right? And if none of them are dipping, then we just hold off.
Yeah, we should
Hold
wait.
off. And then
We're in
once
no rush.
one of them dips down where we feel it's undervalued, that's when we buy it, and we just wait and make our move. We don't need to do it one every day. That was our other issue, is we were like, we need to make 8% a day. That was
We have to do it.
compounding. And I think there are days that we don't need to make any plays, you
Yep.
know. And so
I agree.
that's going to be our strategy for the next 3 months. We'll see how it goes.
To the 3 people watching, you should leave a review on the beard or no beard for me.
It's definitely the beard for me.
Yeah, most people it's the beard. Every single person says the beard.
Yeah, you just look like you lost about 5 years.
Yeah.
You could be 16 again.
No,
More than 5 years. That's
Mikey said, "Are you ready to go back to Lone Peak tomorrow?"
Garden Lone Peak. Gonna be a senior year for you.
Senior year.
Yeah.
So yeah, the beard will come back. I already feel some scruff on my cheek.
So Charlotte wants the beard back.
Yeah, she does. She wants it back.
Was she glad she got to see you without it?
She was glad. She's happy. But now she's seen me. Like it will never be a topic again that she's never seen without a beard. She's seen it.
She knows.
She knows, and we're good. We're good.
Yep.
we can move on with our lives.
Awesome. Well, we kept this episode short and sweet. Let us know what we can do better, but I liked it. I'm excited to watch the Phillies game night, so we'll see how they do.
Yeah, we'll
And
see how they do.
yeah, good moves with your stocks, and I'll talk to you. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow, but
I mean, we might talk tonight with the who wins the Phillies game.
that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll talk to you later, dude.
Yeah.